Do a pan so that people can see how many people showed up. That's crazy. This entire place is full. Wow. Holy shit. Oh, fuck you, Mayor of Denver.
I am curious just to understand, if you have community who's been yelling about turning these cameras off, why then is the mayor going behind closed doors and making an agreement with a CEO of a private company without any true public input? Because you hear the public input.
What will be alternatives to bigger costs in 2027?
Yeah. Sorry. Not me. I love the question. My question is at the end. First, I just wanted to say thank you very much to everybody for showing up today. A lot of people say, I don't know if I'm going to say the right thing. What if somebody's mad at me? What if somebody doesn't like me? What if I come off as weird? And maybe it's just the New York City in me, but what I would say is fuck them. Thank you very much for coming out and speaking. I really appreciate it. Now, one of the questions that I would have regarding all this, I've been thinking about this a lot since the last town hall meeting that I went to was in Vidor, Texas, which, if you Google it, is kind of the opposite of this room. And it was very interesting. There were two live streams going on at the exact same time. One of them was from the Democratic Socialists of America, going over why ALPR cameras are bad. The other was me recording a woman who is from South America talking about how socialism is bad and how you do not want that type of surveillance in your city or in your state. The question that arose, the more that I talked to people across the country from every single different area, is if none of you want this, and the people that vote the opposite of you also don't want this, then why are you still forced to pay for it? And why are they still there? And because the people who vote like you don't want this, the people who vote the opposite of you don't want this, it's the people who have power over you that want it. And when you start asking that question, I think you start to get some different results. Thank you very much for coming out, everybody. I'll do that. I got it. Thank you.
Real quick.
Okay. I'm going to be here for at least like an hour or two after it ends. So if you have any questions you want to say.
Anywhere else besides here, or are you going to be here?
I'm going to be here for a public.
Hi, my name is Erica. I'm from the Westwood neighborhood. I have a question for you, sir. How secure is your network? I am someone who is very close to the information security community, and one thing I can absolutely tell you is no network is 100% secure. Every network has vulnerabilities, and if you find someone who gets into this network and downloads everybody's information, we're all screwed. The second part of my question is, what are you going to do for people who use technology like this to stalk other people? How are you going to protect people who have access to the law enforcement database who have decided to stalk another human being?
Yeah, thank you for the questions. And part of what we are working on negotiating with Flock is also a point in the contract that would hold Flock financially liable for any breach of the system that would then allow for access to Denver's data, or any unauthorized leak or providing of information of Denver data. We're currently working on negotiating, but it would be a $100,000 fine for every breach of the system.
Can I ask just a clarifying question? So how would you all know if there was a breach of the contract? Would Flock have to volunteer that information to you, or how would you know?
I mean, there's any number of hypotheticals where a breach it's either leaked publicly, or we hear it from Flock, or we find out about it ourselves.
How would you find about it yourself? Like, what is the auditing process? Like, what are the safeguards?
Yeah, so that's part of the monthly auditing that we're doing to make sure that currently we're checking to make sure that both the comprehensive audit of the system and then the spot checks. And then one of the things that we've been working with the company to roll out, and this is directly to the second part of your question, is working to make sure that there is some more proactive auditing and identifying of irregular behavior within the system. So if a license plate was being searched by an officer numerous times off hours, that would be something that would be flagged so that in more real time you could query that irregular type of behavior. any number of technologies as, with Netflix, right, where if multiple users are logging in to the same account from different geographical locations, it'll shut down the access. We're working with Flock to make sure that those kind of things are built in as well. But to directly address your question, if there are improper breaches of the system, if a DPD officer or an officer in another jurisdiction was using this system to stalk an ex-girlfriend or to otherwise violate local or state law, we would refer those folks for prosecution at the local and state level, period, full stop.
And I know that we've talked about a lot of things, autonomy, sovereignty, data privacy, but I was hoping that we could talk about something that you and your boss actually care about, which is his re-election prospects. And I just was kind of thinking about like my role coming here tonight. I would describe myself as a normie Democrat, like someone who votes blue no matter who, someone who would probably vote for Mike Johnson, 9 times out of 10, until this stuff comes up. Because I think that all of us understand at some level that, what makes us most upset with our political leaders is when we feel disrespected by them. And we live in a political moment that has been brought about, the Trump administration has been brought about by a bunch of Americans feeling like chumps, feeling lied to, feeling disrespected by their leaders. And so Mike Johnson has a lot of things in his, going for him. He's an entrepreneur. He's innovative. He's got big, vibrant ideas. But when you piss people off, you run the risk of making people forget those things. Because voters, all of us here, they might, as well as you're able to sort of wordsmith the nature of the Fourth Amendment, or, tell us how every little detail of each of our objections is wrong, people don't remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel. And right now, I think a lot of people in this room feel disrespected by the mayor because he escaped oversight, right? We have democratic checks and balances in this country for a reason, and he flouted those checks and balances. He listened to the voice of the people, the elected representatives of the people of the city, and he ignored them. And personally, and I think I speak for many of us here, that's upsetting to me. It makes me think about my vote more than I would have before. I think you and I are probably quite similar. I read the Times, I donate to NPR, I sit on my couch and watch Netflix, and this is the first time that I've considered not voting for the Democrat on the ballot. I guess my question is, given the mayor's sliding poll numbers, which were recently reported, do you worry that the safety and security vote might fall relative to the "we're pissed off that you lied to us" vote?
Yeah, thank you for the question. And I would obviously disagree with the characterization that the mayor has lied to you or anyone. You were at one point talking about some of the shared values that you think you and I probably share, that the mayor certainly shares. And I think it's important for folks to remember that it wasn't that long ago that we were having, on a daily basis, thousands of newcomers arriving in Denver every single day. During the winter, in the cold, without any of the proper supplies, right? And it was this community and Mayor Johnston and his administration who found places for those people to go. It was DPD officers who protected those newcomer shelters, including when people showed up and were planning to harm some of those newcomers. A police officer was shot 3 times. So I hear and appreciate the frustration that you have expressed. I obviously hear the frustration in this room, but I do want to just level set back to, at some level, there are going to be disagreements on the margins here. There is no one in the mayor's administration, the mayor especially, who wants ICE rounding up our most vulnerable citizens, or residents, excuse me. There is no one in the mayor's administration, the mayor especially, who wants a woman who comes here from Texas for reproductive health care to then have that action be prosecuted back in the state of Texas. So that is why we have instituted all of these new safety measures to make sure that those things don't happen.
Okay.